What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video will be about high protein foods that you can buy on a budget. So I received a comment about asking what foods to buy if you're a student in the US and you want to buy some stuff that is cheap, healthy, has high protein because you want to make gains in the gym. So this is that video. So the first thing I'd have to start off with is chicken breast. Usually everything is it's packaged. It's kind of in like these packs, if you will, which makes your job easier because you don't have to clean anything. So you have, I guess, just chicken breast. You get them with rib meat. It depends upon the company you buy them from. I go to this store called Foodland. It's like a chain of grocery stores. You have a bunch of others called Harry's Teeter's, Wegmans, Aldi's, a bunch of other stuff. But to get to the point, essentially it's you can buy chicken breast. You can also buy chicken tenders, which are like these long strip-like things. If you've ever had chicken tenders at KFC or any other like fried chicken place, it's basically this stuff dipped in like batter and oil and like fried. So you can buy chicken tenders. So the second thing I'd have to point out to you is protein powder. If you were actually serious about going to the gym and lifting weights and building muscle, you would be having a protein shake after every workout. I'm not telling you to literally have 3 or 4 scoops of whey protein a day, but hitting your protein goals for the day, which is approximately 1 gram per pound of body weight, is going to be pretty important if you're someone who wants to go to the gym and build a good physique and build muscle, right? So protein powder will definitely help you to meet those goals. It's also cheap with respect to how much you pay for 1 serving of protein or 25 grams of protein. Also super easy to drink. Just mix it in water or milk and drink it. An absolute must-have for anyone who's going to the gym. The only way you don't eat protein powder is if you eat a lot of chicken or meat in the day. But you can do that if you want. Just saying. Right, so I will mention ground chicken or ground turkey, for that matter, ground beef. So these are like keema-like substances if you're in India. So it's like it's been ground to a mush sort of, and if you cook it, it turns into like a sort of crumbly thing. And so these are really easy to cook over normal chicken breast because you could literally just cook it straight out of the pack and it doesn't even taste that bad, and you can just add like some seasoning on it and you're good to go. Then the next thing, since we're talking about ground beef, the next thing I have to mention is steak. So steak is basically a cut of beef which you're supposed to cook. For those of you who don't know how to cook steak, it is implying that you eat beef, of course. But for those of you who don't know how to cook steak, you're essentially supposed to heat a pan. It could be a frying pan. Put a little bit of oil or butter on it, and then you put the steak on it, and depending upon the thickness of the steak, it's going to cook on one side and then eventually you flip it. Really, it doesn't even need salt and pepper. You can just put that thing on there, just have it brown and just take it up and eat it. The good thing about beef is you can eat it literally raw. You could eat beef like bloody beef and not fall sick. So that's why steak has like a bunch of like rare, medium rare, well done sort of things. So depending upon how much you cook it, and so the taste will slightly change. I mean, I'm Indian, so I cook everything well done, I suppose. Now, I will talk about fresh fish, like salmon and other fish. Um, these tend to be pretty expensive as well, but if you're someone who likes to eat fish, go ahead. In these like American supermarkets, fish is way more expensive than chicken for the same amount of meat, which is funny. I suppose that has to do with how people source fish and then how people source chickens. But yeah, it's way more expensive. But yeah, buy it if you want. If you want a cheaper option, you could buy frozen fish. So frozen fish is it's like these fillets that you get in a bag. You're supposed to like thaw the fillet and then just pop it onto a pan and kind of just, you know, grill the fish or whatever. And then I'm going to talk about canned tuna. So canned tuna is an extremely popular bodybuilding food. Um, I don't think it tastes that bad, honestly, but I like fish, so yeah, I don't know. Essentially, what you do is you buy the can of tuna. You need a can opener. You kind of well, you open the can and so inside it's basically like tuna chunks and salt water, right? So the tuna inside is actually cooked. It's not raw. You could eat it directly out of there and you'd be fine. Um, which is honestly what I do, but what you want to do is I know that sounds disgusting, but just hear me through. So what you want to do is take the can off, the lid of the can off, and then use your hands or something to like press the lid of the can into the rest of the can, so the water kind of gets pushed out of the can as you're pushing the top of the lid inside the contents. So the solid fish remains, whereas the water kind of just moves out. And then once there's like no more water left, you take the lid off and you can just kind of like scoop the meat out of the can. And then, you know, you can cook it if you want with like seasonings or make it into a curry or something. But what I do is I usually put mustard on it and then I make it into a sandwich, which honestly tastes great. You could do a bunch of other stuff with it. You could I mean, if you really wanted to, you could like put mayonnaise and like onions and other things, turn it into like a filling and make a sandwich. But you know, mayonnaise is like high in calories and this is like a high protein bodybuilding diet or whatever, an anabolic diet. So I won't tell you to do that. Essentially, yeah, canned tuna, go for it. If you like fish, I think you'll like it. It's super easy, it's cheap. You don't have to cook it, just pop it open and you're good. 20 grams of protein per can and it's low in calories. Definitely would recommend. And then we have low-fat Greek yogurt. So I walked into, I think, a doctor's appointment. When was this? Sometime during my first year, I think. Yeah. And I walked into the appointment and the guy asked me, what's your favorite thing that you've eaten since you've come to the US? And I said Greek yogurt. And the context was that he asks literally every student that walks in for whatever reason, he asks him what's well, these are like international students, of course, but he asks them what their favorite thing is to eat in the US once they've come here, like their new favorite food. And he always gets like a different answer every time, so he has fun asking the question. But for me, it was like Greek yogurt, and then that was like the first time he'd gotten that answer. But anyway, so Greek yogurt is just like yogurt, but it has less fat and more protein. It's super versatile. You can just eat it like yogurt, plain with sugar. You could turn it into a sauce, use it as a marinade, eat it with fruit. I don't need to tell you how to eat yogurt. So Greek yogurt, really good stuff. Now you will find flavored versions of this. I tell you to look at the amount of sugar that's been added into each serving of the yogurt. So you go into sugar and then you go into total added sugars. And if you're like total, like ideally your added sugars should be 0 and your total sugars should be something around 10. But the point is, if you buy flavored Greek yogurt like vanilla or strawberry or whatever, you can kind of flip the label and see if it has a lot of added sugar in it. If it does, it's probably not good for you. There's a brand called Oikos which has flavored Greek yogurt, but I don't know how they do it. Probably artificial sweeteners, but they don't have any added sugar in there and they taste pretty good. So I recommend that brand if you want to try out some flavored Greek yogurt. Otherwise, just like I'd say Chobani is a really good one for just the normal unflavored one. And then yeah, tofu. I'd say buy tofu if you're a vegetarian and you want something quick and easy. I use tofu as kind of my emergency food, or like emergency meal sort of thing. Super easy to cook. I kind of make it into like a stir fry sort of thing. It's very filling. It's very high in protein. Quick tip, if you're trying to look at something and you want to see if that thing is good in protein or not, take the number of calories one serving of that thing has. If the number of calories divided by 10 is equal to the amounts of protein in that thing, it's usually going to be a good option for you. I'd say use low-fat condiments, like use mustard or other very low-calorie sauces for seasoning. Yellow mustard is 0 calories. You could try these like powdered rubs that a bunch of brands sell. They're 0 calories and they just make your life so much easier because they just instantly add seasoning to your food. You don't have to do anything. The blend is there literally. So if you just want to add a dash of flavor or like seasoning to just any sort of meat, just a very simple sort of like a powdered masala sort of thing, you can add this stuff. 0 calories, adds flavor to your food, makes it taste nice. Also, I'll give a shout out to Tostitos dips. The salsas and even the queso that Tostitos has is actually not that bad macro-wise for the calories they actually have and what they taste like. So if you're someone who likes kind of like sauces and salsas and dips, you can check out this brand. I think they have healthy stuff that's not too bad for you in terms of fats. But yeah, that's been it for the video. Drop a like, subscribe, just let me know what you'd like to do next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey, bye for now. Have a great day.